Rick, I know you spent all day talking about yourself, so unfortunately we're going to have to ask you again to spend some more time talking about yourself. First of all, Rick Brown, aka Mr. Mace Man. I would just like you to tell everyone your story of where you came from and how you got here.
Oh, yeah, sure. I started as I've always loved physical training, and I loved working out and researching different types of workouts throughout history. But the only thing that was really offered to me was standard, traditional, try to be bodybuilding training, which, as much as I enjoyed it, it didn't seem to work for me.
How old were you?
I started when I was like 16, 17, and the traditional 3 sets of 10, pull-ups, bench press, squats, curls, and things like that. I enjoyed them. We're talking, this is in the late 1970s. And living in Southern California at the time, where I've lived most of my life, I had access to good gyms and good trainers, but it just, I was always still a long, skinny string bean of a guy. It didn't do for me what it did for so many other people. Still liked it, but seemed like I was spinning my wheels for a few decades. And then when I got into my 40s, we're talking around the year Y2K, around that era, kettlebells were becoming known. I won't say popular, but they were becoming known. And there was an organization that was teaching kettlebell certifications. And I thought, this is for me. But I had the certifications were kind of expensive back then, so I had to get another job to pay for it, and I did that. And around 2006, I got certified as a kettlebell instructor, and I thought this was great. I'm going to change the world, But now I'm in my mid to late 40s in Southern California, which every trainer was a hard body young guy. So I found it going slightly uphill to be successful, and I loved it. But I always tried to find out different methods of training that I didn't know about. I found out about people using heavy clubs, and again, I knew I would like it. So I started doing that, and then on the internet I saw the Mace. From day one, never touched a Mace, but I knew it was for me. And long story short, I met the one guy who was teaching the Mace in America at the time. I became Jake Shannon. I became his student, and there was almost like an underground strength training magazine that was being circulated called My Mad Methods. And they did a couple of articles on me. And then the editor put out a note to everybody that was in the magazine. What's your specialty? And I remember writing back to him and I said, heavy clubs, kettlebells, and the Mace. And he texted back an answer to me, too many, pick one. Well, no, I'm really good with kettlebells. No, I know how to swing clubs and teach it. And I like the Mace. No, too many, pick one. Best thing he could have said to me. There was already, I lived in Southern California, but just south of me in San Diego, it was a hotbed of kettlebell instructors. It was the most dense city, I believe, as far as kettlebell instructors at that time. So I knew I was just one of many. And so I said, okay, Mr. Mace Man, I'll teach the Mace. Nobody else was doing it back then. Even Jake Shannon, I started teaching with his blessing. He was off into other ventures. He promotes wrestling very heavily. In fact, now, a week from today, I'll be teaching at his wrestling camp, teaching the Mace.
Where is that?
Where is he from?
No, where's the wrestling camp?
Oh, it's going to be in Las Vegas. It was in Las Vegas last year. And he really pushes catch wrestling. And I'll be the Mace instructor there too. So,
how long had Jake been doing steel mace before you met him?
Maybe a year, maybe two.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he learned about the Mace through a great catch wrestler named Carl Gotch, who is a legend in the wrestling world. And Carl Gotch kind of lit the idea in Jake to manufacture a mace. Prior to that, I don't think maces were manufactured in the U.S. at all. Jake worked with a company and they manufactured a mace that at the time came in either 5K, 10K, or 15K. Maybe not 15K right at first, but 5 and 10K. And I went to his certification. I got a 10K mace, and everything changed.
Yeah.
I started teaching my private clients, basically my kettlebell clients. I started teaching them the mace. And I don't know why I didn't start earlier, but it wasn't until, now this is like 2007. Jake produced a mace training DVD. Fortunately, he had me in it, and that helped with publicity and notoriety. And I was a kettlebell instructor, and a company used me to make a kettlebell DVD called Kettlebell Basics with Rick Brown. And, we taught the Turkish get up, the press, the snatch, the clean and jerk. And but then at the end of that DVD, we had a little time left, and we did an outdoor workout. And one of the things we did was the mace. And when that hit the airwaves, nobody asked about the kettlebell stuff I was doing, because there were a lot of other trainers teaching it. But what was that thing called, the mace? What was it? I'd never seen that on the internet before. People said, well, I learned. I mean, this is what people wanted me to talk about. I became Mr. Mace Man. And so I would teach. It wasn't until 2013. I mean, I was slow to pick up on some of these trends. And I decided, okay, I'm going to do a mace seminar. I negotiated with the gym, Long Beach Kettlebell Club. I'm still loyal to them. We did a mace seminar there. And, I advertised and made sure there was photography and videography there during the event. 18 people showed up. I was astonished. You mean there's 18 people? I'm driving home from teaching this seminar. I'm thinking, 18 people came to see basically a no-name, and they paid well. And I thought, well, maybe there's something going on here. So I started teaching. I started talking to every gym that I could drive to in the Southern California area. And I got a few gyms from the Los Angeles to the San Diego area, about 150-mile area. And a lot of gyms said no. It was uphill. Nobody had maces. I had to bring my own. So it was basically anywhere I could drive to. One gym in Central California said, hey, come on, 6-hour drive. I had never been that far north in my life. Okay. Went there, had a good setup. Then one gym out of state in Albuquerque flew me out. They said, we can get our own maces. We'll just fly you out and you teach us. Lloyd, I tell you, I felt like a movie star. Wait a minute. Somebody's flying me to teach what I love to talk about, to pay me to talk about what I love to talk about. I've just been a forklift driver all my life, blue collar, And the people that I work with thought, wait, you're getting paid this weekend more than we pay you in a week to talk about your little exercise thing? Yeah. Well, I thought that was as good as it was ever going to get. So one night, early in the morning, 2 a.m., I'm up on my computer, and I get a text from somebody. If the guy would have called me, I would have heard his accent, but he gives me a text, Mr. Mace Man, we'd like you to come to our gym. Teach your mace course. Sure, if you're not in California, you got to fly me out, because I get flown places. It was just a mind blower to me. Still is. It still is.
I was going to ask that. Does it still surprise you when? Does it still surprise you when, like you said before, you were surprised that 18 people showed up?
Yeah, today we had 15 people who showed up. I asked a few of them, where'd you come from? Some of them drove for 2-3 hours to come see me. Hey, when I wanted to learn the kettlebells, when I wanted to learn the mace, fortunately it was right there. But when I wanted to learn kettlebells, I had to go from California to Minnesota, which was the only place to learn at the time. I wanted it. It just surprised me that as much people still want it as much as I wanted it. And like I said in certification today, if I find somebody who has an equal amount of love for the mace, I'll bend over backwards to help them, to promote them, to push them, for them to take the mace farther than I did. So this guy's texting me, Mr. Maceman, come to my gym. Okay, you gotta fly me out, pay my fee, put me up, and fly me back home. He says, no problem. So I said, where's your gym? And he said, at first he just said the city. He said, Kilmallock. And my limited knowledge of geography, I knew that the state of Texas had a lot of states, Killamont, Kenmont, I had a lot of states that was started with a K. And I'm thinking, oh, are you in Texas? And he goes, no, sir, I'm in Ireland. And this is the truth. I had texted, I was astonished. I was in my bedroom, it was 2 a.m., my wife's asleep. I almost woke her up. Honey, this guy wants me to go. I said, do you mean Leprechaun, Ireland? Long pause. The guy texts back, yes, sir, Leprechaun, Ireland. I woke my wife up there. They want me to go to Ireland. He said, can you come here in 4 or 5 weeks? And I texted him back, no, sir, I don't have a passport. I've never needed one, never had one in my life. Never left my country. Let me get a passport, then I'll go to Ireland. Okay, now fast forward, I've been to Ireland 5 times. Yeah. 5 different gyms, okay? It just started leading to other gyms doing it. Now, I will be the first to admit, I had the jump on everybody. Not too many people knew about the mace, and even few were teaching it. I mean, other than me and Jake Shannon, who actually, after I took his certification, he didn't teach any more mace certifications. I went forward with his blessing. So I had to jump on it. If I was just getting into the mace business right now, I might not be able to duplicate what I've done. I'm grateful I had the start. But Lloyd, I said, I'm going to live and die by this. I'm not going to teach the mace plus karate. I'm not going to teach the mace plus wallpaper hanging. I'm not going to teach the mace rock climbing or something. I teach the mace, one thing, okay? And I'm going to live or die by it. And if it flourishes, which it started to, I'm grateful. And if it fades away and dies, hey, I've already been to Ireland. Now 5 times to Ireland. With today, 5 times to England. I've been on the Great Wall of China. Not only Australia a couple of times, but underneath Australia to Tasmania. Norway, Italy, Germany. It's just, my mates I had working with me in a warehouse blew their mind. They used to make fun of me for teaching kettlebells and the mace. They don't make fun of it. They stopped. They stopped because I'd tell the boss I need a week off. I'm going to Italy. Really? Yeah, I'll send you a postcard from Italy. Yeah, I did. Don't mind me. I'm living my dream. For a guy like myself, getting to meet some of the nicest people in the world, getting asked to even instruct and to teach something that I love. Pinch me. Is this really happening? And it's gotten to the point now. Today I did, I think, my 68th public thing. So you'd say I did my first one in 2013, and now it's been 13 years of that. Prior to that, I'd done only private training with the mace. I've had some slow periods, but it's been like every 3 months I go somewhere else. Yeah. And honestly, nothing would surprise me now. If I've had some great successes with it. I've had a lot of gyms still say no. It doesn't bother me now when they say no. Maybe no means they're not ready yet. A lot of no's have turned into yes after time. And it's not for everybody. It's the mace. The mace is a great tool, but you can go your entire athletic training career and never touch a mace and still be successful. But for some people, the mace lights a fire in them, and they like it. And those are the people I address my energy towards.
I always find, to find them people who are really into the mace, it's if I give someone a 5 kilogram, 10 pound mace, and they go, I can deadlift 200 kilogram. That's nothing. And if that 5 kilogram mace makes a fool of them, that is the go, not doing that. Or they try and figure out how this lightweight humbled them, basically. And it's that attitude of, I can deadlift 200 kilogram, why should I bother with 5 kilogram, even if it is difficult, or the attitude of, I want to figure this out.
Right.
I want to figure out why this is challenging me so much.
That's a good attitude to have.
That's it. That's my people, the ones who do that.
Yes, unfortunately, for me, so many people that can deadlift 200 kilograms or do something that impressive, they're safe staying in their zone.
Yeah.
And for many of them, I tell them, I've got a good friend who's a very good competitive bodybuilder. I've had him a friend for years. And I told him, I said, you don't need the mace. What you're doing works.
Yeah.
I tried to be a bodybuilder. It didn't work for me. I tried powerlifting. It was even worse. I mean, when you're long and stringy, it hurts. It's painful for me to squat a broomstick. I'm not built for it. You throw a few 100 pounds on each side, and it's a torture.
Yeah.
Even though I did love the training, But so I wasn't good as a bodybuilder. I wasn't good as a power lifter. I loved Olympic weightlifting. If I could wave a magic wand and be an expert at anything, it would have been Olympic weightlifting. But that requires expensive equipment and even more expensive coaching.
Yeah.
And most guys over 30 in Olympic weightlifting, knees, back, and elbows are shot. That's the price you pay. So it was a blessing that it didn't work out for me. And, but I found out about kettlebells, boy, and then the mace. Oh God, I was so happy. Not that I haven't had a few injuries in there, but that was because of my over enthusiasm.
Yeah.
What I teach today, what I teach in mace now is responsible, safe mace training. It seems like everyone in my country, and now even the rest of the world, everyone's in a hurry to swing a 100-pound mace or a 48 kilogram mace or whatever. We saw one today, a guy who could. Paul Tinley, whom I sincerely call the future of the mace. But most people are only going to hurt themselves if they try that. You can get all the benefits of the mace with a much more moderate poundage. It's in our nature to push things, but know your limitations.
Yeah.
Aim for your potentials, but know your limitations. Keep them in sight. And I tell the guys that are hovering around 100 pounds, I said, no one's going to clap louder than I when you get it. But just know that in India, where this whole thing started, they're doing 100 pounds and more.
Yeah.
And they're half our size anyway. So let's be moderate. Enjoy the mace for what it is. It's a great ride.
Still teach the kettlebells at all?
I still use them, but
Yeah,
I if somebody comes for me for private training, yeah, I can and I will. But I'm Mr. Maceman. I'm known as Mr. Maceman. I also use a few other things I love. I love the heavy clubs. In particular, I love the wooden Persian meals and the Indian jori, which I'm really fine-tuning my technique on there. There's very little of me doing that on the internet because I don't want to be known as a guy who dabbles in something and wants you to pay him to teach that.
Yeah.
Give me a few more years with that, and then we'll talk about that. I enjoy the Bulgarian bag. I've been to many Bulgarian bag seminars. I love the Bulgarian bag. And those are the things I work with. But as far as what I teach, and certainly for what I would ask somebody to pay for me to teach them, I'll stick with the mace. Yeah. And another thing that I'm emphatic about, everything I taught today took 5 hours. I don't have a level 1, level 2, level 3, although every business coach that I've ever talked with has said I need to, okay? I'm not going to sit home and think up new stuff. I teach what they've been doing for 1,000 years with a few slight revisions and tweaks. But basically, you just cannot manufacture antiques. If a business says they're manufacturing antiques, put your hand on your wallet and walk the other way. Okay, I will teach you to safely swing a mace and to be able to correct other people's technique flaws in one day, level 1. And I am aware that many people teach level 2, 3, and 4. Bless them, but it's just not my way.
Do you only, as far as your coaching and your certifications and your workshops, would you only teach traditional style mace? Yeah.
As opposed to...
Well, there's different styles coming out every other week, really. But I mean, you know, you've got your traditional 360s, you've got your I wouldn't call it flow, but you've got, so say like you got your Eric Milan's kind of style where he doesn't really do flow, he does explosive.
Eric Milland?
Yeah.
Great coach.
So he doesn't really do flow, he does more like explosive movements.
Yes. I'm not sure what you would call it. He calls it mindful mechanics, and he's an excellent coach at it. And I would encourage Mace people to take his training because he's good, and he teaches with the same love that I have for the way he teaches. But no, I don't teach that. I'll let him do it.
Yeah.
And those who he teaches, because that's really good. And the same thing with flow. I don't do that. The flow movement, however, is growing much faster than the traditional movement that I teach, and even the mindful mechanics movement that Eric teaches. The flow movement seems to touch a nerve in a lot of people, and they want to do it. That's just not what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. The way I look at it, you've got ice hockey, figure skating. They both use ice. You can't do them without ice.
Yeah.
But they use it totally differently. And Flo uses a mace, and I use a mace, and Eric Mellon teaches mindful mechanics with a mace. But I don't step into their lines, you know. And some of those people, some of the guys that are really good at flow, should they decide to do traditional, are excellent at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great. But I keep my window pretty narrow.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I respect that. Well, as I told you before, the way I got into it was through flow. Mm-hmm. And then from flow, I discovered you. Mm-hmm. So I like to dabble in the two of like, I'll use my flow or my mindful mechanic movements as kind of a warm-up or a cool-down. And then I'll use my traditional style as the actual workout itself. Mm-hmm. So I get what you're saying about you stay in your lane, and I understand that. I just think that like it's, like you said, the two can exist.
Yeah, they can
help each other.
Of course they can. And if a person wants to do both or all three or whatever, and add something else to it, that's fine too. I mean, nobody owns the mace, and there's no hard and fast rules to it. You know, I stick with what I know.
Yeah.
If I was a boxing coach, I would teach traditional boxing. I would not teach kickboxing. I would not teach MMA. They're all close. But no, I teach traditional mace, and that's it. That's what I know, and that's what I'm good at. That's what I like.
Yeah.
You know.
What was I going to say? I was going to say. What was I going to say then?
I could not read your mind.
There was something that threw myself off with the question. Tell you what, we'll ask. You brought it up before, and you never really gave an answer to it.
Oh boy.
Yes, we are recording.
Here he comes.
You brought it up, but like there was never an answer to it. It was about the four faces on Mount Rushmore.
I love the sport.
The four faces of Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah. Who would I put on there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know you were familiar with Mount Rushmore. I thought it was just an American thing. Mount Rushmore, for those who don't know, is a popular mountain in South Dakota, North Dakota, in the United States. And it has four founding fathers from the United States. It has Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and Roosevelt. Okay, so who would there be in the mace world? Mm-hmm. Well, I learned the mace from Jake Shannon, but it was with his blessing that I promoted the mace far and much wider than he did, okay? So even though he was my entry into the mace, by the time he had quit teaching the mace, I was teaching it, okay? The first person that I can think of that started teaching the mace a lot and teaching it a little different than me was Eric Melland, okay? And again, great coach. He was a great animal movement style bodyweight coach before I ever touched a mace, okay? He already had a solid practice. So he took what he had and added the mace with it, and his training is unique and it's really good, okay? So let's say if I'm going to be egotistical enough to dare put my face on that Mount Rushmore, you'd have me and Eric Melland. God, I hope I don't forget anybody. Then around, after Eric and I were doing it for a while, Flow came along. Flow was started by Leo Urquidez, commonly known as Leo Savage. I didn't like it at first, and I felt it was, I felt it was a derivative, an offshoot of Mace training, and not a particularly good one. I've since seen the error of my ways, and nobody can deny the success that Leo has had. So he definitely belongs up on there.
Yeah.
So you got Rick, Eric, Leo. I'll tell you, my best friend and owner of Long Beach Kettlebell Club has been doing the Mace longer than Eric Melland has. He's been doing the Mace longer than anybody in America except me, because I taught him. But again, he's a kettlebell instructor, and if I drop dead tomorrow, he can take my place in a heartbeat because he's that good with the Mace. He is that good, but he's just not well known. So I can't put him in there. My heart will put him on the very front. But let's stick with people that the average listener here would know about. So we got Eric Melland, who's now in Texas, New Braunfels, Texas, and he's got his thing going. I want to visit his gym. It's that good. Got me. I'm in California. You got Leo Urquidez. I think he's in Texas. I'm not sure. Do you know?
I think it's Texas. Yeah.
Texas or Arizona?
Austin, yeah.
Well, Onnit's in. Is he still with Onnit? I don't know, but he's with Texas. And
I think he is.
And so there's three of your four faces on.
So that's the three that I have.
Okay, this may be controversial, but a guy who went through my. Okay, it's going to be a toss-up between two guys, and you know them both. And everybody out there knows them both. And everybody out there should get both of their training. I would say Franken Leg, Zach Yannick, because he's in Canada, but because he has the first Mace gym that I know of. Other than if you go to India with an Akara. Mm-hmm. He started it, a Mace gym, and it's still running fine. He teaches certifications. He likes flow, but is just as good with traditional Mace, okay? He's incredibly strong. So it's either going to be Zach, because he had that first gym, and people used to always tell me, well, Rick, why don't you open a gym? That was never the avenue I wanted to go in. And only reason is because I didn't want to train anybody who came in with money.
Yeah. I
wanted to be able to say, I would rather not train you. I don't think you're sincere about the Mace, which I rarely have to do. When you raise your prices, that keeps the riffraff away, okay? Yeah. But Zach did it, and God bless him. There's a lot of people swinging a Mace because of him. He came to California and did one of my certifications, okay? So it would either be Zach or another guy who has also been to my certification but has taken the Mace very far, and that would be Harbert Egbert's The Flowing Dutchman. Great website, great courses. I only do a level 1. Okay, he does level 1, 2, 3, and a bunch of other things, right? But he's good at it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it would if Mount Rushmore had to be 4, it would be a split between Zach and Harvard. If we can put a fifth in there, it would be both of them.
Yeah.
If we wanted to do, Zach did the first Mace gym. His fellow country person, Steel Mace Valkyrie, first female Mace gym. She's doing great. Mm. When I came out with an online Mace course, I felt that I needed to have a representative from Flow to demonstrate it. And I chose her, and I'm glad I did. Yeah. So I chose her to demonstrate Flow on that. And so those are my votes. But the Mace movement is growing, so a 4-headed Mount Rushmore is not going to do it anymore. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
See, I was going down the lines of Jake Shannon being the 4th one, but for the reasons you said, mm-hmm. I get it. I love Zach and Harbert, so they can have his place. I'll give it to them.
They can fight it out between them.
Yeah, they fight it out. little death match between the two of them.
Wrestling match.
Yeah. But no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
When you go back, when's your next tour? When you're going to see the Jake Shannon's wrestling?
Yeah, a week from today, I'll be in Las Vegas teaching. It's a 3-day wrestling camp. Catch wrestling, and he's gotten. Frank Shamrock's going to be there this time. He was there last time. I showed him the mace. He was really enthusiastic about it. Pat Miletich, another UFC pioneer, is going to be there. He's been texting me. Says he wants to learn the mace too. Yeah, great. And then, of course, the attendees. It's a 3-day thing. I'm teaching the mace part on the first day. I got a busy weekend that week, so I'm teaching that first day, and then I got to fly back home. You know.
Excellent.
But,
so I don't want to keep you too long because I know full well, like I said, you've been talking about yourself all day.
okay.
And also you've got to fly home very early in the morning. I just want to talk to you basically about the certification that you did today and where you hope people go from there.
Where I hope I will go?
The people who've passed.
Oh, yeah. Well, you heard me.
Yeah.
Tell the people to pass it. Teach your own workshops first. Start small and grow. It's me phone, and whoever it is, they can wait. Oh, no, they can wait. Turn off all the sound. No. Yeah, it's a good thing, right, getting calls, you know. But email me. Where I hope it goes with the 15 attendees today, you included, your lovely wife included. Well, we have 5 ladies today?
Yeah.
5 ladies today. Okay, with them, first of all, start teaching mace workshops. Teach as far and wide as you can. Let me know where you're teaching. I will promote it on all my pages. Okay, there's no competition in this world, in the mace world. It's such a small world. We fight each other for competition. Don't go to him. Don't go to him. No. If next month Harvard's going to be at your gym.
Yeah.
Okay, people should go see it. People should go and attend his training. He's an excellent teacher. It was Jake Shannon that told me a rising tide raises all the ships. Okay, so let's promote one another. I hope that the people that attended today, just like, although most of my people that come to me for private certification pretty much want to keep it with themselves. I hope they start teaching mace workshops, seminars, and then certifications. I hope that if they have access to write blogs or articles for magazines, to do it. To volunteer at first to teach small groups, particularly in schools and things like that, because schools will not pay. Okay, so you need to volunteer at first.
Yeah.
Do a 30-minute workshop for a local athletic team, and let them know why a 12-minute workout with the mace will really help their training. 2 or 3 12-minute workouts a week, a simple addition to your training, will really help with all the other things you're doing. So, and you have to volunteer for a bunch of things like that before people start paying you. You have to. I did that for, no exaggeration, hundreds of events like that. I didn't come to teaching the mace to be a form of employment. I always kept my own employment. I handled my bills with that. And the money I made, whatever money I made from the mace, I reinvested it in so that I can keep teaching on a farther and wider basis. I invested in other other coaches, things like that. So I always put the money back into the mace, bought more equipment, and things like that. So basically, I hope from the 15 people that came today, I hope they try to become mace teachers. Not all of the 15 there really had an interest in it.
Yeah.
They just took it for their own self-enrichment, and that's fine too. That's fine too. I get people come to me to my little private studio, and they want to be certified, and because it does something for them. They have no interest in teaching others. Last month, somebody came to me from the Central California area, and he definitely wants to train. He's a Tai Chi teacher, and he sees the 1,000-year-old Tai Chi and the 1,000-year-old mace, and he can blend the two. And I'll promote him because he's sincere. He loves the mace, and so that's what I want. I want this thing to mushroom and grow, and I'm going to teach this as long as I can live and breathe and move. But someday I'll be gone, and the people that I touched today will still be here.
Yeah.
And I want them to still teach the mace.
Well, I know some of them did it so they could become coaches. Some of them did it because, well, I know like Steve, you know Big Steve?
Big Steve, yeah.
He's a judge for the King of the Swing competition.
Right.
So he did it because he wants to be able to have his head held high when he can judge someone and be like, I'm certified, I know what I'm doing. And some people did it, Rick, because they just wanted to meet you more than anything.
Because of what?
They wanted to meet you.
Yeah, it blows my mind. But my own brothers and sisters laugh when they hear stuff like that.
Well, it's true. It is like when I put into AI about, because I was trying to write something up about an introduction for you, and when I said about do a short write up on Rick Brown, Real Mace, Mr. Mace Guy, Mr. Mace Man, write a short paragraph introducing him, and it said that if Jake Shannon was the architect of steel mace, Rick Brown was the man who built the castle.
Was the what?
The man who built the castle.
Oh, well, thank you.
I didn't say there was AI.
Oh, thank you, AI. I really appreciate that. Jake Shannon was definitely the architect. You know, he took a big risk getting a company and then starting to sell maces, which were not inexpensive at the time, because just like kettlebells, not only did you have to buy them, but you had to pay the postage, which sometimes was more than the product itself. So I take my hat off to Jake because of his love for the mace. Had it not been for that, there would be no Mr. Mace Man. There would be. If he didn't decide to make the product, I never would have heard about it. And, you know, because I teach, some people have learned, and so maybe they never would have learned if I didn't.
Well, that I was going to say,
yeah.
It's the same thing. I know Paul Tinley, he got started by watching a lot of your stuff, as a lot of people did. So, as you're praising Jake Shannon to the hills, a lot of people are praising you to the hills for it, which is why I'm saying you shouldn't be surprised for people wanting to see you.
I'm touched by that. Yeah. I'm humbled by that. And I made it clear at the start of today's certification that nobody there was certifying under me. I'm just a finger pointing the way. Yeah. Okay. And I went the way before you, so I have some helpful hints. You know, how you can learn it a little quicker and maybe avoid some of the pain, some of the mistakes that I've made. Okay. Jake lit the fire in me, Jake Shannon lit the fire in me, and I took the torch and I ran with it. And I passed on a little bit of the flame to 15 people today. So that's how I like to look at it. Nobody's certified under me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like you're going forward teaching the Mr. Maceman method. There is no Mr. Maceman method. Okay. My method is what they do in India.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm certainly not going to pay them any money for what I do, because I put in the work, and the people today put in their work. Go promote yourself, like Paul Tinley, who is, in my opinion, the future of the mace. You know, he's 57 years old. I was well into my 50s when I started teaching the mace. Anybody younger than that should wonder why they're not doing it. Okay, if us old guys can do it, they can certainly do it. You know.
I suppose, yeah. Well, we'll call it that, just so, like I said, I wanted to keep it short. I know you're tired, you've been talking about yourself all day and standing up and walking backwards and forwards. So, again, I appreciate you coming down. I'm going to see all them people again when they come down for the King of the Swing competition. We'll talk more about it then with them. And it'll be, I think it's just nice to kind of know that the 15 people who were there will be coming back next competition, but all certified coaches, really.
I'm feeling that bit more.
A bit more confident in himself. Yeah. It's easy to not believe in yourself and think, I know, but I don't know as much. But then this piece of paper that says they're certified kind of confirms that, like, actually, no, I am good. Yeah. So again, there's little things that you've done for people that, like, you probably don't, or you take for granted, or you don't realise that you've done. And so I just want to tell you, I appreciate that, and I know they appreciate it, and it's a good thing.
Like I said, don't mind me. I'm living my dream. I'm loving it. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I would be living this type of life and touching the lives I had and meeting the great solid gold people that I have met and made friendships that I know will carry me to the rest of my life. You know.
I hope the one of them is me. Brilliant.
Excellent.